And we are live from the Infanity Studios here in Los Angeles for your LA Sparks Weekly post-game show. Myself, Fredo Cervantes. In a few minutes, we'll have Michael Matthew joining us here in studio. But the LA Sparks with the biggest upset of the year, and I don't really want to call it much of an upset because they were determined through all four quarters here playing in Las Vegas, and they took them down 78-72 behind Layshia Clarendon's huge career game, 22 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists in 36 minutes of play. I mean, we will be getting some of the players and head coach Curt Miller's reaction in a little bit. They'll be joining here the show. But it's just an exciting moment, and it's very exciting for the LA Sparks to really show that they have not given up just yet. Even though they were out of the playoff picture, they are now in control of the 8th spot in the WNBA postseason standings right now, okay? So Chicago Sky are out of the picture right now. The LA Sparks have overtaken that. They are currently on the 4-game winning streak, and of course, I mentioned Layshia Clarendon. I mean, that's the player of the game right now. That's my player of the game. I know I'm giving you guys, normally give it to you guys later in the segment, but Layshia Clarendon, ever since her return, we get that Lexi Brown has been out of the picture for technically 70% of the year. But Layshia Clarendon was one special player that was very important that we do get back. The moment she went out a few months ago, she was scheduled to be out 4 to 6 weeks. She came back early enough, healthy enough, and she's been productive over the last few weeks for the LA Sparks, and is the main reason why the Sparks are still in the conversation for the playoffs. But what does that really mean? Does that mean that, okay, well, they're going to make it to the playoffs and get the last spot, but are they going to make some noise? That's the most important part about all this. And I can see them make some noise. And the reason why I say that, even Coach Curt Miller talked to us, I believe it was last Saturday when we were at Crypto.com Arena, and he mentioned, he's like, look, we're just getting healthy. This is like the 5th straight game they've used the same lineup now. And consistency within the starting lineup and the rotations that he's been having, of course, he's been dealing with so many players coming in and out of the lineup. So with him to finally get a roster that are not getting many changes around is very, very good for the league right now. And I mean, right now, every other team, I mean, this was a national primetime game. The LA Sparks, they showed up on primetime, ABC 7 here in Los Angeles, but they prove that they have what it takes to win something. Maybe not this year, but they certainly will have the opportunity to compete. So don't get me wrong. I'm not here to say that the LA Sparks maybe don't have a chance at the WNBA finals. They do. They certainly do, especially when they have a player like Nneka Ogwumike. You know, right now, Nneka is rounding up her last few games of the regular season. Of course, it does seems like right now that the LA Sparks will possibly be in the playoffs. Nneka Ogwumike has a few more games remaining in her contract. It is a very, very important topic to kind of look at for any LA Sparks fans out there. You know, this is her 13th season with the team. Is she going to be here any longer than this year? I mean, the speculation is out there whether she wants to maybe try to get some money, whether she wants to try to win a ring. But honestly, I think Nneka might feel comfortable in staying here in Los Angeles, especially once they got a new kind of a new environment around the team right now. But we are moments away, guys. We are moments away from getting the players and the coach reaction right now. But we are going to go ahead and take a quick commercial break, guys. All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Maybe when we return, Michael Matthew will be with us here in studio, and we will have the live reaction from Coach Curt Miller and the players when we come back.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Layshia Clarendon, and you're watching Infanity Television. Boom.
Profanity Nation. A podcast for the fans, by the fans. Dive deep into the topics the other shows miss. Raw and uncensored.
And he's going to play team ball. His legacy is at stake.
Rare, hard-hitting interviews with players, coaches, and you, the super fans.
I'm not hating. I'm like, okay, cool. Good.
3 championships in 5 years. You're more than good, bro.
Profanity Nation. Listen live or subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. Powered by Jesse Brown of Keller Williams.
United One Protection Services. With over 30 years of experience, United One Protection Services has more expertise and knowledge than the other security companies combined. Residential, commercial, municipal, or institutional, United One Protection Services does more than just security. We protect your livelihood. United One Protection Services.
And we're back here live in studio for your LA Sparks weekly post-game show. Myself, Fredo Cervantes. We're moments away from getting Michael Matthew and head coach Curt Miller and some of the players' reactions after a huge win in Las Vegas, 78-72. And I know I talked a little bit about Layshia Clarendon right now of her spectacular game, career highs throughout every single category. But another key player has been Jordin Canada. Jordin Canada has been so efficient from the field, from every single aspect that you can possibly imagine. And Jordin Canada did pick up her 1,500 career points today in Las Vegas. Jordin Canada did finish the game today with 20 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists in 39 minutes of play. Incredible by all the Sparks player, and as well as Nneka Ogwumike. Nneka Ogwumike, you know, she had that last clutch bucket. It was a nice pass from Layshia Clarendon that gave her, you know, after a little screen and slide, and Nneka Ogwumike was able to get that clutch bucket. It gave them a 4-point lead. But here's Coach Curt Miller after a huge win in Las Vegas.
Huge road win for us tonight. Really proud.
Recording in progress.
Our fight throughout the game. Obviously, we talked about throwing the first punch. I thought we came out well, weathered some runs, finished the second quarter to give us a halftime lead. And the second half played the same way. Had stretches where we felt like we were starting to get some separation, but knew that they were going to make big runs. Had some turnovers down the stretch, but when we needed to make a play, there was composure, there was determination, there was a fight, there was a physicality that we matched with how physical Las Vegas was tonight. So just our defense has really grown since May and June. Our consistent lineup has helped that. Our roles are more defined. And just can't be more proud. That is a huge win in a foundational build year for us. Gives us confidence, a 4-game winning streak here as we head back home tonight.
Coach, you mentioned physicality a lot. Was that sort of the thought process of getting the ball in Laysh's hands so much because she was able to really bring that physicality?
Yeah, you know, Sabrina, I just can't emphasize enough how Layshia changes our toughness and our physicality. When you look at the 14 games that she missed compared to what our record looks like with Layshia Clarendon in the lineup, she oozes a toughness for us, and people feed off of that. And we really needed it tonight, and moved her with the ball in her hands, moved Jordin off the ball. Jordin had a terrific shooting night from the arc from her early. Nneka made big plays. Just all around really good team win. And again, a very important build year. That's going to go a long way for us.
And then defensively, did you feel like you were taking them out of the shots that they wanted, or just, I don't know, getting bodies in the way of the shots this year?
Yeah, we were scrambling and tried to be very aggressive and dictate who we wanted taking shots. And you have to live with, you know, Kayla George stepping up and making shots at times is good. You know, Layshia Clark has led the entire league in 3-point shooting in her career at times. And we sacrificed at times, knowing that she might be the recipient of an extra pass, and she was going to make some. But when you have Plum and Young and Gray, you got to pick your poison. And we tried to try to speed them up and tried to dictate somewhat who was taking shots. And I thought we did a good job of that at times throughout the game. The rebounding was hard, Sabrina. That was the toughest part when you're scrambling all around and what we call we're in the blender and we're scrambling and just playing hard. A lot of small people have to block out very talented post group. And they were the story of the game. If we lost was probably offensive rebounding by Vegas and our turnovers. But fortunately, our composure down the stretch allowed us to have a great win for us.
Well, it felt like the rebound was also kind of you guys putting so much pressure on the ball and starting yourselves out, right?
For sure.
Yeah. Anybody else in the room? Okay.
Mikhail and Infanity TV.
Hey, Coach. Fredo Cervantes here with Infanity TV. What a huge victory road win it was here for you guys today. I know last Saturday when we were at Crypto, we talked about the defense, and, of course, you reiterated that right now, talking about how great that defense has been. But what kind of message does this send to the league and around the league that shows that, the Sparks are, coming around right now?
Yeah, I'm not as concerned about message to other people. It's the message in our own locker room and our growth at the defensive end, our growth and culture in that locker room, that they believe in each other, are playing for each other, care for each other. That's the message that it's sending. It is rippling through our locker room with confidence, our culture, what we want to be like defensively. We want to have a toughness about our culture. I'm less concerned what anyone else thinks, but in our own locker room, that will go a long way for us.
Thank you.
I think that's it. Thanks a lot, Coach. We're back with Sparks players.
I got Michelle Vopel with her hand up. Michael. Sorry, Michael.
That's okay. Coach, I was just wondering about when you look at, and forgive me, because I know you probably talked about this a lot, but you look at the last 2 months for you guys and the turnaround, the difficulties of going through late June to early July, or actually late July without a victory. What do you I know you guys got healthier, but I guess the fact that you guys just, I don't know, the resilience, I guess, that here you are at this point, having won, I think 6 of the last 9. How do you put that into perspective?
I think perseverance. Obviously, we've had 15 different 10-year, never seen a season with the adversity of illnesses and injuries. But you could feel it in the film room when we were scouting ourselves, the growth and the connectivity that we had, that we were getting better and better. And we had to define in stretches, Michael, this year, what success was to us. And it wasn't always a win. It wasn't losses. Our success was, were we building something the right way in the locker room? Were we building some camaraderie and trust and belief in how we were playing? And I just think it's taken hold. Fortunately, we've now been able to secure some victories, and that accelerates the belief in what we're doing and the belief that they can be successful with it. But again, this year we will define success in a lot of different ways, and it won't just be wins. And that was a win tonight, but there's so much other things that define success tonight that is really important to us.
And if I could ask one follow-up real quick, Coach, it seems like, NECA's never had any drop off on play, but in a lot of ways, statistically, this is reminding me of her MVP season. And that's 7 years ago, and she's still being able to play at that level. Can you sort of put that in perspective as well, especially what it's meant, for this Sparks team?
She's the consummate pro on and off the court, a consummate leader for us, but she's, the definition of efficient. once again, an efficient night, 7 for 11, played out of double teams unselfishly all night, didn't force things in double teams. I wanted her to shoot more. And she's like, I'm being doubled. I'm like, yes, I want you to shoot. But, that's just who she is and her character. Again, our record won't put her in MVP, discussions, but her stats clearly mirror her MVP season, and it's a credit to her. And I love putting great players in position to be successful. That's what I believe my job is learning players' strengths and then designing things to put them in places to be successful. And it's really fun to do that with NECA, and she's responded to it and been terrific. And again, consummate pro efficiency. When she's done playing, they will talk about her efficiency more than anything else.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
And we're back here at the Infanity Studios, LA Sparks Weekly postgame show. And we got Michael Matthew back in studio with us here right now. What's up, Michael?
Hey, the biggest win of the year.
Yes, sir.
For the Los Angeles Sparks from the beginning of the game.
Yes.
They were ready to go, knocking down outside shots.
Recording in progress.
Important. And playing defense. Like, they shut down the Aces to 72 points. And a lot of that points they kind of got at the end because they were playing scramble defense and kind of forcing turnovers. But, man, the Sparks played their best game. They're on a 4-game winning streak. Big time, man.
4 games in a row. And, of course, the next game will be here in Los Angeles at the Galen Center. It will not be at Crypto.com Arena. So, for anybody out there that's got tickets to the game or are planning to go to the game, don't show up at Crypto.com. Make sure y'all show up at the USC Galen Center, which is right off the 110 freeway there.
Beautiful gym.
Is it? I've never been there. It's my first time.
Beautiful gym. I'm excited to see for Mosky. It's a home game because he's also the DJ for the USC basketball teams. But, man, I'm just so excited because the Sparks are taking care of business. Layshia.
Yes.
She did her thing, man. I can't wait to talk about, more of, picking our player of the game and so forth. But I know we got the players.
Well, I chose my player of the game right now.
Already?
Yeah. Early in the show, I picked Layshia already because she just had a remarkable game. I mean, from every single aspect that you can imagine, she's doing it all. And ever since she got back to the court, she's been the key point, that aggressiveness that they've been getting. Of course, right now we got Jordin Canada.
And Jordin balled out.
Yeah, she did as well.
4-3, so shout
39
out to
minutes.
Jordin Canada.
Her lip is good.
Lip is good. I can't wait to see what she has to say.
Yes, check it out.
Yeah, I mean, Layshia is a very capable point guard. And so, we're able to play off of each other. And I think that's what makes us so special is that, I'm able to come off ball screens and she's able to come off ball screens and make good decisions with the ball. And so I think that helps our offense a lot. And it takes a lot of pressure off me and not feeling like I have to have it the whole game. And I can give it to Layshia and she can be aggressive like she did today.
Speaking of pressure, it feels like we really control the first quarter, just insane ball pressure on the biggest guards. Like, was that a plan or you saw something that they looked a little lackadaisical to you, or that's just how you wanted to not be?
We want to come out as aggressive as we can be. And I know for me, I'm the spark of the team, no pun intended. I just want to come out and be aggressive and try to do my best on the ball and off the ball. And that's my job as a point guard. That's my job of this team, is to come out with that energy and that effort, and my team will follow suit. So, that's just been kind of our identity these last couple of games, of coming out, being aggressive.
The last few games you guys have won required second half comebacks, and this one you guys just took control the whole way through. Like, is it more satisfying this way?
I mean, any win is satisfying, no matter if we're coming back or if we play like this today. I think, it's just continuing to find our flow. I think the last couple of games we're building that chemistry. We're learning each other, like I told you yesterday, and we just want to continue to build on that with this momentum.
You have a question, Jordin?
Rashawn?
Hey, Jordin, congrats on the
Thank
win.
you.
The down the stretch and fourth quarters have been good over the course of the last couple of weeks or so for you all as a team. today not your best, but when they made that run late, you still were able to, withstand that final punch that they threw. What does that say about just where this team has grown over the course of the last couple of weeks?
I feel like we've always been a very composed and patient team. When things happen down the stretch or early in the game, like we don't get too high, we don't get too low. We just continue to play hard. And I think that's what showed down the stretch in the fourth quarter. Yeah, we made like a ton of mistakes in like 2 minutes, but I think with our composure, we just had to slow it down and get the right shots and get the right people in different positions. And I think, that shows our growth over the course of the season, is that times like this, we're able to just really put people in positions to do well. And I think we did a great job of holding them off, and rebounding was really important for us down the stretch. And we got some key rebounds that allowed us to, get the stops that we needed.
Thank you. Safe travels.
Thank you.
Let's go with Infanity.
Hey, what's up, Jordin? Great win by you ladies today. We're always going to talk about buckets, and you got some buckets early that got you going. But just talk about what you guys have been able to do defensively, not only today, but just these last 3 games as well, to help you guys pick up these victories.
Yeah, like I said, I think that's become our identity of being aggressive to start out the games, and just being able to maintain that throughout the game. I think we do a great job of scrambling when we're trapping certain players, or just rotations. I think we've done a better job of communicating, and that's what has allowed us to get some stops early in the game and, down the stretch. So I think it's just our communication early and coming out and being aggressive.
And then on the offensive end, when it comes to, when it comes to knocking down 3-point shots early, like how much does that open up the rest of the floor and just open up your game entirely?
Yeah, I mean, it opens it up, being confident in taking those shots early in the game, and I was feeling it, so I just wanted to continue to shoot. And I know it was going to open up the lane for me, and not just for myself, but for my teammates as well. And so just trying to stay confident and knocking down those shots when I'm open.
Thank you.
Layshia has a new season high in points tonight with 22, and she ties season high in rebounds with 5.
With a lot of turnovers. Okay.
It's just that, screen will actually really never running in the middle of the floor. What were you seeing at the defense center? That word.
What was that, the pick and roll action?
Yeah.
Just trying to get Nneka the ball in places that isn't always on the block, getting her the ball in the move, and, wanting to manipulate the defense and put certain people in actions that you want, and just control the tempo of the game.
And you mentioned the turnovers. Obviously, the deciding bucket of the game, and also lob it into that guy in that final possession.
Yeah.
I guess what you need confidence to know that pass is going to grow.
Even though I turned it over the exact same play before that. Just reading it, it's all learning. I knew the one before I probably should have shot it, but that one Stokes stepped up. So I still just had the confidence to make the right read in the moment, which was that pass, and then Nneka to finish it.
And then I guess just how much of an emphasis was it to put pressure on their guards, that ball pressure to start the game, sort of get power of them?
A lot. You have to. I mean, their guards are really talented. They can all score at all 3 levels. So you just want to be disruptive. And that's like the fun part of playing defense on this team, is we can just be really scrappy, and we can go after people and put pressure on them and be in rotations. And that's a fun way we like to play.
How did you feel like you guys did in terms of rotating out of that?
Really well. Yeah. I think we got them out of some ball screens. The people that didn't come off of screens anymore. I think we got 2 steals in the first quarter. That we drilled and drilled and drilled. I remember vividly the one that I hit. I was like, yes, because our coach Chris Koklanis he's drilled us on that again and again. We're missing the rotation, so just being in the right place.
I was texting with the broadcaster, WNBA broadcaster, right after the game. Just mentioned, 3rd loss in 7 games for them, and I said, Liberty maybe had played the blueprint. She said Dallas also. When you were watching games leading up to this, you ladies have had 7 days off. Did you see something that they did, or is it a breakdown with the Aces? Was it maybe fatigue? Did you just sort of blood in water and went after in that first quarter? What was it about them that teams are able to sort of clamp down on them?
I mean, I can't speak to some of the other teams, but to us is we have similar game plan to the first time we played them way back when. I'm still pissed off we lost that game very early in the season when we played them, and we put a lot of pressure on their guards. But I do think people are showing you got to get the ball out of their really talented guards' hands and not let them just pick you apart, because Chelsea can pick you apart if you give Asia the ball on the block. Obviously, she's extremely talented. So it's just playing to the game plans that we've put together and trying to get the ball. You want to force people to take the shots that you want to take. And I think that was our game plan, and it was effective.
Let's go. Gil, it's Infanity TV, please.
Hey, what's up, Layshia, Michael, Matthew here with Infanity TV. Man, hell of a performance by you guys today. Everybody's going to talk about the buckets that you and Jordin and Neck were able to get this victory. But talk about the defensive end. Like early, you guys were very aggressive, getting some big stops. I know it nearly got away at the end, but then you guys were able to get even more stops. How important is the defense for not only this win today, but just the past 3 wins as well?
I mean, it's extremely important. It fuels us, the ability to just dig in and get stops when you need them. And especially a team like them who they can put up so many points on the board that not letting them get in a rhythm and making every single bucket tough. Like Asia ended with 25, but like we made every shot hard. We made her get O boards time and time again to score. So it's just bringing that grittiness, that tenacity on the defensive end that's going to kind of fuel us and allow us to get out in transition.
And it seems like you and Jordin kind of found your way, found your groove together. 2 point guards that's able to play off the ball as well. Just talk about the growth that you guys have had since you returned from your injury earlier in the season.
It's just finding a rhythm and a balance. I remember early in the year, it's like I'm trying to get the outlet, Jordan's getting the outlet because I'm so used to playing point. And then a stretch where I wasn't on the ball at all. And I think now it's just finding that balance of, giving her a break off the ball, running other actions that get the ball back in her hands, but she doesn't always have to bring it up the court. So I think playing with 2 point guards is a very undervalued thing in this league. So it's really smart that we've put this roster together, and we have multiple playmakers and multiple thinkers in the game at the same time. So we're constantly talking about how many fouls we have to give, what play we want to run, and all that pressure doesn't just fall on one player.
Yep, great win.
Thank you.
So that's a wrap here, the presser. We're back in studio. The Sparks pick up a huge win, a huge upset win that I know a lot of people didn't expect after we saw the 2 big games between the Liberty and the Aces. 78-72, the Sparks take care of business as they prepare to come back home with a 4-game winning streak. The ladies are continuing to shine. Shout out to Layshia Clarendon, 20-point game. You have another 20 points by Jordin Canada. They're finding their way. And it's hard for me. I know earlier I said player of the game is Layshia. It's hard to choose just Layshia. It has to be Jordin Canada as well, because NECA does what she does. But those 2 are the sparks. Jordin said it, that she's the spark. Damn it, the spark is her and Layshia. When they play well, it makes the Sparks very tough to defeat. So shout out to them. Big time, prime time win. It's a type of victory that can push you and hopefully push this team into the playoffs. But I thank you guys so much. Make sure that you continue to stay with us. LA Sparks Weekly. We will have more with you as the Sparks will be back here in LA, but at the Galen Center with their matchup against the Mercury. Can't wait to see it, and hopefully you are there. But remember, follow us here on the socials, LA Sparks Weekly, Infanity Television. The Sparks did it, 78-72. Well, the biggest win of their season, defeating the defending champions, Las Vegas, baby. Go Sparks!